because you're going into the military and you're learning a trade or a skill, just like going to
Mm-hmm.
college. And you're
Right.
getting on the job training, and when whatever skill or experience or your job was in the military, you just get out in the civilian world and basically doing the same thing. Whether you was
Mm.
motor T, you might want to get out there, you want to be a truck driver. You might have been working on airplanes and I said aeroplanes.
Arrow, yo, that's a country right there. That's one of them.
That's an
Arrow.
arrow. These are different planes. Y'all don't know about these yet. These
Yeah.
ones ain't even came out yet. They aeroplanes.
Hey, welcome to KROSS BARZ, the podcast where we discuss interesting topics with alternative perspective. I am your co-host, Big O, and I have with me.
Hey, JTanae is back in the building one more time with our special guest, Mr. Antoine Scott, the comedian, the look at ya. Go ahead, give it up, give it up, give it up. And our veteran, appreciate your service, sir. Give it up for Mr. Antoine Scott. Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, yeah.
Go crazy, go crazy.
Feeling it. So tell me, first and foremost, let's get the preliminaries out the way. Where are you from?
I'm from Richmond, Virginia. That's where
Oh,
I'm from.
Richmond,
Yo,
Richmond.
Chamberlain
Virginia.
ass, stand up. Chamberlain ass,
Come on
stand up.
now. You already know what it is.
Yeah,
You
Sundays
already
at
know what it
Chamberlain.
is.
Sundays at Chamberlain.
What you know
Yeah.
about Chamberlain? We got to
Yeah,
talk
listen,
after this. What you know about Chamberlain, huh?
Easy out there. You listen,
Hey, Big O, worldwide over here, yo.
Worldwide. I've been
Yeah.
places.
I
Been some places.
see.
Yeah, been some places. You know, look, and I even know the day. Chamberlain on Sundays. Absolutely. It's
You know,
a beautiful thing.
Chamberlain
Beautiful
Avenue.
thing.
Yeah. I don't know about this podcast now. You talking about Chamberlain.
Absolutely. All right, so from Richmond, Virginia, absolutely. So now, where did you venture off, or you stayed home and just said, "I'm gonna do it from here"?
I'm from the crib, man. I ain't going nowhere. I mean,
All right, bars.
home is home. I ain't going nowhere. This is home for me. You know,
Okay.
I travel here and I travel there, but RVA is the hometown.
Wow. So
All right.
several comedians, after they get notoriety and they get their name out there, I usually see them in three spots: Atlanta, LA, or New York. And you're saying that you staying home or you just travel for business?
I'm staying home now. Who said I might get something in like Miami? I'm talking Miami.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You might
Speaking
want to
to
get
What a warmth
that little summer home. You might want to escape the December, January weather. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to escape that and go on into Miami or something for a couple months.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
He said January.
Absolutely.
January, February, you know what I mean?
Okay, I got you with that. So now that we established you from Richmond, tell me about you growing up, childhood, and how did you arrive to be a comedian as an occupation?
Well, like I said, a guy from Richmond, man, grew up moved, some of the projects, as a youth until mom and dad got it together, you know what I mean? Moving to a house over in the West End, the city part of the West End, you know what I mean? So the city part, not the county part, the city part. So we moved and basically, man, always been having fun as a kid, cracking jokes, having fun. High school. After I got out of high school, went to the military, and then I got out of the military. Was a little law enforcement, was a deputy sheriff here in the county.
Ooh.
In Virginia.
Marines,
Yeah.
right? I think I seen
Yeah,
Marines.
Marine
Yes.
Corps.
Thank
That's
you
right.
for your
Marine.
service. You just said Veterans
Rah.
Day.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I wanted to thank every place I ate at yesterday.
I know you said you was
Where
hungry.
you
You
go?
gonna make a list.
You with the Outback, go to Corral. Where
Come
you go?
on. Everybody say, how much? What I get? What? Huh? ID? You ain't said nothing, huh? I was slaying my ID card like I was cutting hearts. They need that last book. They need that last book. And I had the three of spades.
Not the three.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, and I would like the cheesecake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give me that, yeah, and get my Lester. Get in here and get my dessert. I
Yeah,
totally get
absolutely. Absolutely. That is what's up. So, thank you for your service, sir. All
Oh
right. So
yeah.
how did you go to that path? Like, you didn't say, all right, I'm gonna go to college, or you just said, nah, I'm gonna go into the military because I need discipline.
Man, first of all, school wasn't for me. Let's
Okay.
just say that. Let's just say that. When the teachers tell you thank God, when they tell you thank God, boy, they say, boy, you made it. School isn't for everybody. Everybody wants, the American dream,
That's right.
go to high school, go to
Right.
college. If you go to college, I ain't hating, I ain't mad, but school isn't for everybody, and it won't for me. And
Okay.
therefore, actually was a recruiter, the Marine Corps recruiter was seeing other two of my homeboys from high school, and they were like, "Yo, man, come on, go see the recruiter." I'm like, "Man, ain't about seeing no recruiter." And I looked over there, and he had them dress blues on.
Oh,
I'm talking about
Looking
the
sharp. Yeah.
dark blue jacket with
yeah, with the brown
white
pants.
white belt. No,
Oh, he had the
this
white pants?
no. Let me get you right now. He got
Okay.
on the dark blue top. You got the white belt with the gold buckle. And you got
Mm.
the blue pants on with the red blood stripe down the middle of the
Oh,
pants. With
yeah,
the
yeah.
with the white gloves on, with the white come on, the white cover. Boy, I said this ninja is sharp.
Sure.
You
Thank
tell me from
Yeah.
a you tell me coming from a guy. Now I was high school best dressed. So when
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at that, I'm like, boy, that boy sharp over there. So I went to go talk to the recruiter, and then I done joined, and I done
Yeah.
cussed his AWS out a few times when I joined.
Okay.
Did you
Yeah.
have other family members that was in the military at all? It's just, or were you the first person to go, or you just?
No, my uncle was in the army, I want to say, for a while, for a minute. And far as I can remember, that was it, really. So, the Marine Corps wasn't like a plan. It was just something that happened that day, as far as, making a decision to go ahead and join the military.
Okay. So what about your mother and father? What was their reaction to you going to the military? Or do you come from a military background as far as your family is concerned?
No, my dad was like, hell yeah, send his ass on. Hell, get him out of here. That was part of the reasons I knew I had to do something. When
He was
your
happy.
parents start counting down days until you graduate, boy, you graduate in 30 more days. You graduate in 14 more days. You graduate in 9 more days. Man, you
Oh,
ain't counting down for real.
oh wow.
It's not
Hey,
like the parents today, once you graduate, whatever, then you stay at home and start. No. Back then, it's like, hey, boy, you
you
18.
gotta do something.
You
Yeah.
got to do something. You got to get the hell up
Yeah.
out of here.
Did
Yeah.
you have
Okay.
brothers and sisters? Are you the oldest, or do you have any siblings?
Well, I had some older siblings, some of my sisters, they were siblings, but you claim as your
Yeah.
own. But I had a younger brother who was like 8 years younger than me. But just me and him in the house when I left.
Okay. And so now you're in the military. Did you uh serve in Desert Storm or Desert Shield? I wasn't sure because I'm not sure.
No, I went in right when Desert Storm ended.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, there is a God somewhere.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, right when
Yes.
it ended, they said it's
Okay.
over. It's over. Antoine Scott.
Yeah. I'm here for the GI Bill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me get that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So right after, okay. And then when we kind of went back to war, were you already out or were you still serving or was
No,
that
I was already out. I had my spider senses kicked in.
oh
I
okay.
said, I smell something fitting to happen on the horizon. So go
Okay.
ahead and let me. I said, no, that's it. I'm good.
All right. Yeah, get up out of there. So now my question now is, as a military man or former military man, How do you guys deal with like some of the actions of our politicians? Whereas y'all see some, but y'all gotta, like they could talk shit, but you gotta go back it up. And it's like, do you guys see it like, damn, this mug is in office, or damn, this mug's in office and he trying to do this? Like, God, just let us chill. Or like, what is your perspective of being in the military?
That's basic. Joining the military is like any other job. It's like your supervisor coming in and saying, "All right, we're gonna go to this other warehouse and move these boxes." You like, we ain't got nothing to do with the boxes over there. We got it, but that's your supervisor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you
Yeah.
got to go to the next state and got to move all these boxes in this warehouse that you ain't got nothing to
Right.
do with. So you got to go move the boxes. You know what I mean? You huffing and puffing the whole time, but the military is just different to where you may have to really cause bodily injury or harm to another individual. But that's
Mm-hmm.
so it's a job. You join the military to protect the country, and that's what it is. But like I said, it's like any other job. You got a supervisor, and the supervisor said, "Man, we're gonna go in this next state, and we're gonna I don't like this truck over here because it got red tires on it, and I don't like it.
Got
Just
you.
be, just because one person I don't like the red tires on this truck, I want y'all to go over there and just take the tires off.
Yeah.
Man, this truck ain't doing nothing to me.
So he do nothing to you. He do nothing to everything. Absolutely.
Just because one person I don't like them red ties, go
Yeah.
take them off. And because they have the power to do so, so you gotta go and say, "Hey man, I don't know what table I'm finna take the ties."
So now, being in the military, what was the biggest takeaway? Like the thing that you took or the thing that they taught you that still resonates with you. Whereas like some of the things you may say, nah, I ain't with that, but some things like, you know what, that taught me this, or this was something I really took away that I really implement in my life that I cherish.
Well, you got man, makes you a good character, makes you a great person, working well with others, teamwork. You bond a family, responsibility. And teach you how to be nice, neat, clean, how to clean up, how to treat others. You know what I mean? Have discipline. A lot of discipline goes in with the military. Uh,
Mhm.
for sake of if you behind, let's do something in Marine Corps boot camp where I don't know if you ever heard of sand fleas,
Oh
right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sand
yeah,
fleas,
yeah.
they kind of
Beach.
they
Yeah,
bite you and they bite you and they make it you gotta smack them off and make you go crazy. They biting all on you. And
yeah,
it might you might get in trouble as a unit, as a platoon, and he got you go out there and get everybody saying, "Everybody get in tight and forward march, backward march, sidestep march." But what he's doing, he's stirring up all the sand fleas, right?
Mm.
And you gotta stand there saying, "Attention, you better not move." And they biting you and they gnawing at you and they all on your face, they
Oh
all on
no.
your arm, and the whole time and you just taking it, right? When you think he's being mean, but what he's doing also that you find out he's teaching you discipline.
yeah,
Mm.
Because
Mm.
say if you behind enemy lines and you land crossfire on somebody, but you got to remain still because a whole unit or platoon of enemies might be walking by you. You in a nice safe spot, but it might be something that crawl on you. It might something that they be
Mm.
biting on you or whatever the case. But
Mm.
and you had that discipline that you can't smack that bug or get that bug out your face because if you do, you might get shot by the enemy. So therefore,
Oh,
you get this kind of training in the military. So therefore, you
wow.
just learn how to take it. It gives you discipline.
that's
Oh
awesome.
Lord.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So that fortitude, I like that.
Woo.
Absolutely. So now that you exit the military, why did you choose law enforcement? Was it because the military background, or you always had a liking to go into law enforcement?
No, tell you something about the military. The military, nothing but a college anyway. Because you're going into the military and you're learning a trade or a skill, just like going to
Mm-hmm.
college. And you're
Right.
getting on the job training. And when whatever skill or experience or your job was in the military, you just get out in the civilian world and basically doing the same thing. Whether you was
Mm.
motor T, you might want to get out and then you want to be a truck driver. You might have been working on airplanes and I said aeroplanes.
Aero, that's a country. That's one.
That's an
Aeroplane.
arrow. These are different planes. Y'all know about these yet. These
Yeah,
ones ain't even came out yet. They aeroplanes, right?
aeroplane.
And you and you working on, you working on those. You get out, what you gonna do? You might go fill out the application for United, uh, Delta, or
Mm-hmm.
whomever to work on aeroplanes. So whatever skills you have about me being in the infantry, that rolls over into law enforcement, dealing with weapons and
Right.
stuff like that, and that kind of same experience and skills in law enforcement. So it kind of rolls over into the same thing.
Okay, so that's pretty awesome. How long were you as a deputy sheriff?
About 6, 7 years. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so what led you to
That's it.
stop doing that?
I'm sorry.
What prohibited? Like you said, nah, that's enough, or did you see something? Like what was
I
the?
want to go tell these jokes.
Oh shit! So you
That's what I.
left. So you left being a sheriff to tell jokes. So it inspired you. Wow, that is a
To,
huge shift.
to
Yeah.
tell these
What I
jokes.
would say with you being in being a sheriff, like how did your boys or the people that talk about you being a sheriff, like being on this side of the law? Did you have friends on the
Well,
other side of the law, and how did they respond to that?
well, you got friends that's on the other side of the law. We good friends. I don't know if y'all know who Jay Ski is. He
Jay
hangs with
Ski.
Jay Ski is
The
what I was part
DJ?
of. No, Jay Ski is a comedian. He's with
Oh
Ha
no
Ha
no no.
Mafia with
What you
Ti.
mean?
Yeah, he's a we hometown friend, same area, same high school, all that great stuff. And he's been on the other side, and I've been on the other side. So
Mm.
you know, one of my closest friends. So it's no different. It's just a job. Ain't no different. It's just a job. You know what I mean? But no, you go in there with treating everybody with respect because that coin can be tossed on you any day. You could be
Mm-hmm.
you could be
Bars.
counting inmates one day and your AWS could be in there the next.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
That's something. So my question now, because like I know that's kind of a real difficult job because you see the worst in people on a daily basis. I'm a school teacher, so I look at people and say, all right, at least I can see the good in you in the future. Some of you bad motherfuckers, I'll be like, yeah, yeah, you about to go a different route, but you see, like as a
Yeah.
sheriff, a police officer, law enforcement, you see the worst day of people's life on a consistent basis. So
You
how are
see,
you dealing with that?
I didn't mean to cut you off, but you see a lot of wrong decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot
Bars.
of wrong. You see a lot of wrong. Don't know how to hold their tempers. You see how
Mm-hmm.
a wrong going in the wrong path. Being a follower, not a leader. You'd be
Mm-hmm.
surprised. A lot of the individuals end up incarcerated just making a wrong decision that day,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
or
One time.
you just decided to take 2 minute drinks and try to drive. People understand that drinking and
Mm-hmm.
driving is a very serious
Thank God for
charge.
people praying.
Yeah, that's a very serious charge. Then you got some people who, when you don't understand, when you're back against the wall,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have rational thinking. Your thinking process of being right goes out of the window when you're back against the wall, when you don't have no money in your pocket, when you don't have no place to stay, when you don't have
Mm-hmm.
nothing to eat. It's just you're back against the wall, and so your whole mindset changes to two peas in the bucket, and you're
Yeah.
going for what you know. So there's some people
Right.
out there that just need to be locked up. Like, you don't need to
It's
be on the street. You
right.
you need to be back here. No, don't let him go at all. Lester, get in here and take away all the keys because he don't need to be out there at all.
Absolutely. So now that you're on a comedic side, do you look at law enforcement a little different, or you look at it like you stealing money? Like you can see some of those nuances that maybe the civilian can't see. So like you see it, I'm
Well,
like, oh man, that mug is rested. He ain't doing that. Or you look like, yeah, brother, look like y'all working hard.
that's once again, that's what any job. You
Yeah.
don't see the other side until you on the other
Right.
side.
Right.
You thinking supervisor is doing this and acting this way and telling y'all to do this until you become supervisor and you seeing what's on the other side. And you saying, oh, that's why we had to do
Damn.
X, Y, and Z.
That's true.
So
Right.
you don't see what's on the other side, like I said, until you on the other side. Everybody's thinking somebody's, you got folks out there who is hiding behind the badge and not acting accordingly to being in that position, because you're in a great position of power when you have that badge on and that gun on your side. Some of them guys
Right.
sometimes, it's true. Them guys been weaklings in school all their life, and they want to be a police officer. Now they got a badge and a gun. Now they want to be out there and couldn't be the person they couldn't be in school.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. That's some.
Yeah.
Hey, Malik says that all the time. You know what I mean? You must have
Mm.
got bullied. You must have been the person who
Yeah.
nobody really liked in school. Now you got a gun and you want to come and
Yeah.
Yeah,
act
it's
like you
some
just a
it's some
bad
it's
guy.
some yeah, it's some bad ones out there. Then you got some great
Yeah.
officers also. They're just trying to do their job, and it's all about community and neighborhood
Mhm.
and policing and keeping everybody safe. But of course, the bad always going to outweigh the good. No matter what you do, and when one bad seed, that's in the bunch of the apples, it's just gonna over everybody.
Okay. So now that you're a comedian, because we're just making a progression, you're a comedian and you're on the road. I listening to what you said, but your story sounds very familiar or similar to earthquakes. He speaks about how he
Hmm.
was in the military and he
Hmm.
almost caused a nuclear explosion, because he wanted to
Yeah.
go see Duke
He
dancers.
wanted he want to go see Luke. Dad, he want to go see Luke.
Yeah. So so now, when you were in the military, did you see a lot of people like that was like very humorous? Because I'm just being honest. When I heard Mystical speak of him being in the military, he was like, "Yeah, I was battling left and right, in the army." And I'm sitting there like, "Is there a lot of spinners out there?" Like I have this, image in my head, but I never thought like, you out there on the base just battle rapping people who's coming in from different units or barracks per se.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just folks. The military, just like I said, like
The
college. You
same
got
thing is.
people
Yeah.
that people in the military who got skills and abilities. They just went into the military. You got I was in a guy named Wanza out of Columbus, Georgia. Was a bona fide ball player. Man,
Mm.
but circumstances led him to having to join the military. So you got rappers, singers, ball players,
Mhm.
and military do have football teams and boxing,
Yeah, they do.
and
And
boxing
music
teams and boxers,
bands.
bands and all that. So
Yeah.
you got
Uh-huh.
these same individuals that could have been a person or could have been a rapper or a singer or something on that entertainment side that just
Right.
they just whatever the powers that be, they join the military. Yeah, so that could
Yeah,
well could be you got guy from this barracks over here and they caught wind of him. Like, no, my boy from such and such that might be on the barracks across the base. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, we gonna meet up on Friday at the E Club. You know what I mean? I know the DJ. He gonna give y'all like 5 minutes. You're like, boom, we gonna be there. So you go out there, you got two guys that's getting it in. You got a lot of former football players that's
Mhm.
rappers now. I think I don't know if it was it Wale.
yeah,
I'm for
yeah.
Wale or
Wale, yeah, he
somebody.
played football. Yeah,
Yeah, I know he went. I think he went to college.
yeah.
Because I think he went to college down here. I think Virginia State or Virginia Union
Uh,
down here in VA. And you got Rakim. Being Rakim was a bona
He
fide
played
ball
ball.
player.
Yeah,
Played
he played
football.
ball.
He
I
was all
read his
about
book.
football.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a football. He thought he was going to college to play
He,
football.
he sure was. Yep.
wow,
Yeah.
never.
So
Wow, I
yeah.
just
So
learned
you
that.
got a
Yeah.
lot of these. Yeah, you got a lot of
He's
these
smart.
guys. Yeah, you got a lot of these guys that just went into profession you see them in now, but before then they was doing. They got skills in other areas.
Okay.
So when did you first realize you were like funny or you make people laugh? Because you went from some serious situations to funny. Like, so how did you start to feel
Man,
like you
it's
might be
it's
that dude?
it's it's funny because I've always been silly and
Yeah.
just like to have fun.
Yeah.
Keeping the guys laughing. We out in the field, at the barracks. When I was either at the jail, just having fun. I worked juvenile corrections also.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
so So it's funny because you at work, especially you work in juvenile corrections, you got this seriousness all day,
Mm-hmm.
and you just got this serious face. Then but you on the slide with your staff member, you still tripping with your partner, but
Mm-hmm.
you keeping a stern face and being, having that discipline that to be on that, kind of that, all right now, sit down like I told you. You turn around and say, "Hey, boy, that boy over there got a big ass head, don't that boy?"
Right.
Yeah. So now, being on a comedic side, Mike Murphy, he talks about his experiences as a former military man, and he just jumped on the scene really through Instagram. What do you feel about some of those individuals that's really promoting through Instagram, where back in the day it was you actually hitting the circuit doing the open mics and trying to get on one of the syndications like Common View or Def Comedy Channel?
Times changed. That's all that is. That's what more you can say. They've been blessed to be in an era now where times change when you just skipping the
Okay.
line. When you just skip the line, is no fault of theirs that they were born or they came up in a time in an era where you just can skip the line and you just can get on your phone or your laptop or an
Mm-hmm.
aeroplane and just
And role playing again. There
you
you
know what
go.
I mean? Or and just skip the line. You get on social media, whether it's your TikTok or Facebook, Instagram, or whatever it might be, and you start doing content, and next thing you don't blew up. But then sometimes the guys, because the first thing everybody want to jump into is a comedian. You know, they're not jumping quick to be an actor or an actress or
Mm-hmm.
to be on a
Mm-hmm.
movie set. One of the first things they jump into was, hey, I can just be a comedian because you're doing some stuff that's not really stand up on your
Right.
on your on your page, but that's the first thing everybody jumps into. And of course, as you know, in today's world, it's all about followers. So now you got a big old following. You may have a hot 15 minutes. The club gonna book you because what? You're gonna put behinds in the seats. It's a
Yeah.
business.
Absolutely.
You gotta
So
have
Absolutely.
more than
yeah.
15 minutes. If they book you for 45, you in trouble.
Yeah. I
I mean,
I really like Mike because I think that he should get credit for a couple of words coming back into the lexicon, like diabolical. People weren't saying that, but he was like, "Yo, that's diabolical," and I was like, "That comes from that dude on Instagram and TikTok talking about, yo, that's
Mm-hmm.
just and
uh,
that's
but
crazy work." So like these little catchphrases that he's saying, I'm like, this guy is killing it as far as a comedian. But now watch this. One guy I went to see at the Charlotte Comedy Zone, he is awesome. Ryan Davis. You
Ron Davis,
know,
yeah. I
Yeah,
Ryan
know Ryan.
Davis,
Uh-huh.
I
I
went
know
to
who he
see
is.
him. He's from Concord, North Carolina, near Charlotte. And
Yeah.
I followed him, but his thing was he was cracking on one of my favorite players from my favorite team, Odell Beckham. So Odell
Uh-huh.
Beckham was doing a whole bunch of suspect stuff, coming out the water in the jacuzzi with a whole bunch of dudes, going on the sideline, pinching dudes. And it was like between Odell Beckham and Chris Bosh, it was like, yo, he was just killing. And now he's, making millions of dollars, but he started from TikTok and Instagram. And I'm seeing his progression. And so now I'm asking you, is that the new model, or is that something that you're trying to do to get your content up? Or are you saying, nah, I want to go straight to the movies. I want to get to the silver screen.
Nah, man, I'm doing me. I'm in my lane, having a good time. And Ryan Davis was doing comedy before he was doing content.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want. I just heard you say like from TikTok. Now he was already being a comedian. Ryan Davis
Okay.
was like one of a feature act of mine way back in Charlotte,
Wow.
back
Okay.
way back in the day. So he's been doing comedy before then. But that just shows you that people see people sometime on TikTok and on social media, and like you said, the other guy was saying diabolical. I
Yeah.
guarantee you, there's another comedian out here that's been saying it.
Oh wow. Okay. But
Saying
he got
saying, but saying, but you because you saw that guy say it, and then somebody on the West Coast probably been using that word in their set for years, since the late
Mm-hmm.
'90s or early 2000s. And
Yeah,
then when you see that person, you're like, man, he got that from such and such. This man been doing comedy way longer than this guy.
absolutely.
You know what I
So
mean?
did you?
So
Yeah. Go
mm,
ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, you go ahead.
I was just saying. So did you study? Did you go to school? Or did you just pick it up and start writing? Do you have a writer? Like, how did you get into even? And how long have you been doing it? Because you saying like a long time ago. How long have you been doing it? And how did you go to school, or did you teach yourself? Self taught.
No, I just went on stage. Just I didn't have no comedy workshop, no
Right.
comedy
Right.
class.
Right.
Just for me, just watching comedy. And I've been doing it now 21 and a half years. So
Woo!
Wow.
Okay.
so
Bars.
so just watching and say, okay, you just get on stage and you just start telling funny jokes or funny stories and stuff like that. And back then, when I didn't, I'm way better now, just right down the premise, and I can kind of just gather my thoughts like a
Mhm.
rapper almost,
Mhm.
putting their lines in his head before he even write it on paper and going
Mhm.
to the booth to do a rhyme the same way I write on a premise about something. I can kind of formulate the joke in my mind. You might have to work it out a couple times on certain shows. By the third, fourth, fifth show, that joke is tight.
Okay.
So
So,
and mm,
so my question to you now is: are you in any comedians camps? Because I know that some comedians have a team of writers and they have other comedians that are in their camp. Are you in a writers camp per se?
nah, nah,
Do
Yeah,
you have
John's
a
by
writers camp?
himself.
nah.
Okay, so
Just
you
ver-
just go from what you feel, what you
yeah.
do.
I mean, let me
Okay.
let you meet. Let me let you meet. Me, myself, and I
And
incorporate.
Yeah, no, and for me, some of the nuances, and that's one of the things. Like, let me make sure I'm clear. I'm living room funny, y'all stage funny. I could be comedic with my family, and I respect the craft too much because I've seen so many, and I'm like, oh no, they have skills. And
Right,
when I learned that Richard Pryor's writer, oh my God, Paul Mooney.
Paul
I
Mooney.
found that Paul Mooney was a writer for Richard Pryor in the 70s, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then you start hearing certain things, and I liken that to singers. So, like Anita
mhm.
Baker went on tour in the 80s, they had Rapture, killer album, and everything. And her backup singer was Regina Bell.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
then, Regina Bell's one of her backup singers was Luther Vandross. So it
Exactly.
actually comes from a tree. And I want to know, did you
Hmm.
come from a tree? Like, are you coming from a comedic tree, or you said, nah, dog, from the mud?
I'm from the mud. I'm from the
Okay.
mud. Just getting up there, and back then you just start putting in work. You start branching out and networking, meeting other comedians, and branching out to DC, Northern Virginia. And you going you're in Jersey, going there North Carolina. You just start branching out, meeting other folks, and showing them that you were being funny on stage. See, back then you had to show funny on stage
Yeah.
when other comedians would
Right.
see you and be like, hey man, you got a show, man. You gonna come through? And they're not really gonna pay you, but you still pay them the way that shows that you
Right.
funny, that shows that you have
Investigation. Right.
time and you got material that you can go on stage and you can work up to be a host, you can be a feature. And then you got enough material and time, you can be a headliner on certain
Mhm.
weekly nights or stuff like that. So back then it was a process, it was a grind, putting your name out there and networking versus today, like you said, you just get on your phone for a good hot 6 months. And
Right. Mhm.
if your page take off in that 6 months, you got eight
Right.
hundred thousand followers, man. You hot.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And
I,
and I've been looking at you. Hold on. I was looking. I'm looking at your stuff on Instagram, and you're so funny that sometimes you don't even say nothing. Like the face that you make, like after you show a
Yeah.
video, will crack you up, and you didn't say nothing. And I found myself like rewatching this thing, and when I look at your face, it's like you said something, but you ain't saying nothing. But I understood it, and I was
Yeah.
dying laughing. So what is that? Do you plan certain things? Like, is there a body language? Do you study? I don't know how you do it, but whatever it is, it's hilarious. Like with the hot dog with the glizzy.
Oh.
It was just a glizzy. And that's all you said. And then I looked at you, it was like, and my mind went to like 5 different stories of what you could have been thinking about at that time.
It's just they always say I never really knew what it was. I would always read the comments sometimes over the years doing the videos. They'd be like, man, your face, your
It's
face.
your
I just be like,
face.
I just be like,
Yes.
I'm reading the comment like I ain't doing nothing. Like I just,
I know.
you kind of look at the video and you just look like,
That's
and
it.
it just be like something normal, and folks see it and they just be, I don't
It
know,
do.
I have no clue.
It's like your own interpretation of what you could be thinking.
Right.
So I mean, and which makes it even funnier because I thought of 5 scenarios that you could have been thinking, or what I would have thought that made it funny. But to do that, that's really, really cool. So and also in saying that, so when you talk about comedy, is there a level that, because there's a thin line between people all big on mental health, like is there a line that you won't cross when it comes to comedy, or do you just say, hey, I'm gonna do whatever? Because some people are cruel, but they think it's comedy, but I don't think it's funny, but somebody else might. Is there a line that you won't cross?
I was just having this discussion yesterday. It's all on the comedian. Some people feel that if you come to a show, comedians are not filtered like a rapper or a singer who
Right.
wants to sing their lyrics or rap their lyrics. I want to talk about said thing. You got to realize everybody views and see everything differently. What's funny to you may not be funny to the next person. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's just common. You got each comedian that do their own thing, and you should know who that comedian is before you go to their show.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Between
for
humor and hurt, because some people get offended and get mad and want to
yeah,
leave, but you came to the show.
yeah. You got to realize, like I tell folks, Cora Holcomb,
Yep.
you got
Yeah.
to be ready for Cora Holcomb. I
No.
think his style that ain't my style, but I
Yeah.
think he's hilarious to me because
Patrice
the
O'Neal.
stuff,
Yeah.
yeah, Patrice O'Neal, the stuff they say out their mouth, you be like, man, this dude off the chain. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But then some folks will walk out the show, and
Yeah.
from some of the documentaries from Patrice O'Neal, sometimes they like when they can have 3 or 4 people walk out the show and just make them leave out. They get
But
yeah,
they
they
still got the
leaving.
money anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
You paid. You paid.
Yeah.
Right.
I saw a young man. He did the shock thing. He came from a comedy show, Roast Me, and he did a stand up, and he was making fun of some people that a tragedy, and a lot of people was like, "Why is he making that fun?" And it was like that was his style, but he was just venturing
Hmm.
out, and I was like, okay, I just didn't think he executed it well. But I saw so many different styles. I know as I'm getting older, I like storytellers. Before when I was
Right,
younger,
right, right, right.
I like that slapstick. So
That's
now when I
right.
see
Yeah.
that slapstick, I see it now and I'll be like, okay, that's not my thing anymore because as I'm more
Yeah.
mature, I love
Mm-hmm.
the storytell and the nuances
Right,
of it. So
right.
someone new
Hmm.
like Sadiq,
Ali
Sadiq Ali,
Sadiq. Uh-huh.
Ali Sadiq,
Hmm.
he's a storyteller. Then I like Chappelle's a storyteller. I think that
Right.
the king of the stage is Chris Rock. I think that he
Yeah.
has the best specials, him and Eddie and Richard. I was like, ooh, those
Yeah.
specials are unreal. But someone like Marlon Wayans, when I see him, I'm like, okay, it's okay, but I think he's more what is it called, physical comedian. Like he has to act it
Right.
out per
He
se.
acted out. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's like I said, it's for each his own. It's all according to what you like. You say, well,
Yeah.
I like Marlon, I want to go see Marlon. Then you go see Marlon, and he's like you say, he's a physical comedian, like a Honest J. You know what I
correct.
mean? I
Oh
get
God,
physical.
he is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So and then you see them and you like, they were funny, but they just ain't my, they
yeah,
were good, but they ain't my style. Then you pull up, you got Ali Sadiq in town, and he up there, and soon as the show starts off with Ali, he might be just sitting on stage and just be
yeah.
like, so. So my son
Yeah.
wants to start driving.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I don't want to give him a driver's license. And you already tuned in
Correct.
to the
Yeah.
story. It's
Yeah.
like a movie. So you already tuned into the story because you know that's his style.
Correct.
See what I'm saying? That's his style. So you know you finna hear a good, funny story. You're gonna be just dying laughing. You just like to see that whole. He gonna paint that picture for you, and you're gonna take that ride along as he tell that
Right.
story.
Right.
Absolutely. And
Mhm.
the other comedian that I, like I told you, I've been watching comedians for a long time, respect the heck out of the craft. And I love seeing him, and I don't know how he is not like he should be out of here in the stratosphere. He is super funny. Tony Roberts. If you ever met Tony Robbins, he is when he gets it. I went to Nails in New York, and I went there for like 2 months. I see him like I wouldn't disrespect any other people but I seen other comedians. They did their thing.
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins came on. Yeah, it was a different. I seen comedians
Tony,
that went on what is it called? Wilding Out. They was
uh,
over there and got their stardom, and I was like, I saw them get booed, and I was like, so why is Tony Roberts, like he's not on somebody's show? I
the
can't
the
like I can't put
thing
my finger on it.
he was on the show. I forgot what show it was. I think it was him and Bill Bellamy. He had a TV show. But a lot of what I'm not knocking. Tony Robbins is hilarious, but Tony Robbins. And somebody always say, if you said Tony Robbins, give us one a showing up joke like
Yeah,
a Bernie Mac. You saying
yeah.
about the milk
Fuck
and
them kids.
cookies.
Yeah, milk and
Yeah,
cookies.
you
Yeah.
got that. You said Robin Harris,
Got
you
you.
baby kids.
Yes.
You know what
Right.
I mean?
You
So
got a
you got
signature something. Yeah.
that signature something. Tony Robbins is just plain out funny. Tony
Right.
Robbins gonna give you 1,113 jokes in
Fact.
15 minutes.
Fact.
Tony Robbins
That's a lot.
keeping them jump, and he got the microphone stand that he using. He got the cord he using. He got the boat. He got two
Everything.
chairs on stage. He's smacking them over, and everything's hilarious. He keeping you laughing the whole time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? But this just from what I've been when you kind of ask, because I asked the same questions about Tony Robbins, like why he ain't got. They said Tony so I don't want to say he all over the place, but his jokes is just like
Yeah.
it's
Scattered.
Rapid
Yeah.
fire.
right.
Yeah.
It's scattered.
It's not like
You
a
know,
right.
man.
Yeah.
You ever met a girl who had no hair on her arm and it smelled like this? He just boom. To hear it said, man, my daughter, blah blah blah. He come in, man. This microphone stink. It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just, man. But he's just
Yeah.
Tony Robbins. Everybody know Tony Robbins bringing that heat. Tony Robbins
Yeah.
is hilarious.
Yeah, and
Right.
and I enjoy that. And what I ask you is, when you got into the comedy game, what person and did you say I want to model my career and my style after it? Because I know all of you are individuals. You have distinct personalities as well as
Hmm.
nuance, but a lot of comedians fall in certain categories. So, what would your category be like? Someone who came well before you, let's say a Red Fox, Bill Cosby, a Sinbad, or even Martin Lawrence, and who else? With Eddie Murphy. Like, what would you say yours is?
Ah, that's hard because I'm kind of me. Really. But
My daddy, nigga, I came up nuts.
if I always use a joke with I said Robin Harris. He said,
Oh, okay, got you.
why Robin Harris because both of us can't talk too good. Robin Harris like, look over there, look over there. It's like he just he jumble his words together. He
Yeah,
mumbling.
Got you.
Our culture can understand and get it when we say, hey man, come on, no, we already know he talking about somebody over there. He tell you to look
correct.
over there.
Uh-huh.
On the other side of the aisle, they like, what is it? What is he saying? Because they don't get it.
Yeah,
So
Hmm.
from a talking standpoint, that Robert Harris probably one of my favorites anyway.
Okay, and that's awesome.
So I got a question too. You just said something that made me think about, being a comedian and kind of being either boxed into this type of audience or being more universal, like a Chappelle that can appeal to this audience and this audience. So what's the negative about, just like you're saying, only my people can understand that? Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing, or just what you want?
It's what you want. I mean, if you want to be your own man, stay in your own lane is what it is. But at some point, you just got to make sure your jokes are able to cross over to the masses. You can be on the chitlin circuit, or you can try to get in those on the mainstream rooms. But it's best just to work all the rooms, so you still could be you with your style, but you're just making sure you're getting across to everybody, whether it's white, black, Latino, Asian, or anybody, to make sure you got that crossover appeal, but you keeping true to yourself and who you are as a comedian.
Right. So,
Okay.
and being a comedian too, hold on, you're always expected to be like funny or like on all the time. So when you don't have those days where you funny, when you don't feel funny, how do you still go on stage and do it?
Well, it's like a switch. You just turn it on. I was watching an interview the other day when, sometimes comedians be going through the worst of it, be having a lot of pain, but they still have to get on stage and perform because they didn't pay money to come see you be sad on stage. They
Yeah.
they already feeling they already feeling a certain kind of way when they coming in. So they come in and see you to be a pick me up. So you got to go on
hmm
stage and you got to hit that switch and you got to turn it on. Then when you get off stage, go back in the green room. You can sit there and sulk in your misery.
Well, and one more though, because they say, and I read this, it's like a statistic that says, they say laughter adds years to your life because it helps you relieve stress and all that. But they said that comedians actually live shorter lives than actors,
I don't know where they
mainly
get
because
that from.
what they said, what's your take to Ari on that? Because they said they often are usually late night. They're usually, up late and stressing or something like that. But that's a little thing that I heard. So what's your take on that? You believe that? You don't believe that? I read it
Nah, I
today.
don't. I don't. I don't believe that. George Wallace is still living. George Wallace is
Yeah,
113 years old. Yeah,
DC Curry, God, I just saw him
yeah.
in Charlotte. He's crazy.
Yeah, it's just with any job. It's all just because we work late nights. It's all in how you take care of yourself. You get to a certain point when you younger, you can rip and run all day and then go perform at night. Blah blah blah. When you start getting older in the comedy game, you gonna take a nap. You gonna lay down about 2:30. You're gonna get up about
Oh,
five
you
fifteen,
napping?
5:30. You're gonna take you a good nap. You're going there, take your shower, you're gonna shave, refreshed. You're gonna go in there and good to go, get to the comedy club. About show start at 7, you get there about 6:45, you ready to go. You know? Then after it's over, you're going back, you're gonna watch Law and Order, Forensic Files in your room. You might you're gonna eat something careful in your room. You don't want nothing too heavy. It's gonna stick in your chest. You don't want that. And you're gonna go on to sleep. Wake up the next day. Go eat you a nice breakfast. You might do a little walk around. Might go to the gym. Might do a little exercises. But you gonna make sure you back in that room by 2:30 so you can lay down and take a
Take a
nap.
nap.
Okay. All right. So this is part of the show where we ask you this or that. All right. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions. My objective is to get you to say, man, it's too hard. You got to choose both. So you can say one or the other. You can say both or neither. So give you an easy one.
Okay.
I feel it's easy from a gentleman from Richmond. Grits or oatmeal?
Grits.
See how easy that was? See how easy that was? See, Jay, look, it was
That
easy.
that wa-
Some
that
people
was an
answered
easy.
oatmeal. I
That's an
looked at
easy
them crazy.
question. That's an
Yeah.
easy question. Yeah,
Look, set them up. Look, I'll get some hard ones. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Look, Washington Redskins or the Nationals?
Neither.
Damn. Don't like DC. Oh, you a Richmond boy. Oh, forget the Tide Water. Okay. All right. I'm gonna
I
mess
mean,
with you.
they good. I love me some DC. They ain't got nothing to do with the teams. I love some DC now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna start messing with you now. Okay. Virginia State or VCU, the Commonwealth.
Oh, Virginia State.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Virginia State. Okay. I ain't gonna mess with you. Okay. Let's look. Charles Oakley or Allen Iverson.
Well, I gotta say Allen Iverson because Allen Iverson is a true Virginian, like
A
Okay.
Virginian.
aeroplane, a Virginian. Yeah, he from a 757. Charles Oakley came. He from
From
Ohio. He
Cleveland.
came.
Right.
Yeah, he came to VUU to Union and play ball, and then went from the NBA from there. So he came to
Right.
the hometown. Made his way to the NBA. But Allen he's a hometown VA guy.
Okay. I got you. All right. So look. Watch this. Are you going with Michael Vick or Cam Newton?
Michael Vick.
Okay, you just picking Virginia. All right, so let me get you
That's
out of Virginia. Michael
that's
Jordan.
VA.
Yeah. Look.
That's VA you talking about.
Look. Michael Jordan or LeBron
Michael
James?
Jordan. You
I
might
believe you on that one. He be
ain't
wanting
heard of
everybody to pick LeBron James all the time.
I had the
Right.
same debate. I had the same debate yesterday. LeBron James is a great, outstanding, all-around player. He has the most points, all of that. But he does not have that tenacity, fourth quarter, dog mentality, give me the ball, get out the way. He is
Oh
he is
yeah.
this is all due respect. He is an outstanding player. But there ain't no way in HE double hockey sticks. Michael Jordan gonna defer the ball to anybody.
He did.
And not
Kerr
take
and Paxson had to hit the game winning shot. He did
but
twice
he
in
he
championship
drew
games.
he drew them over to him and
Absolutely.
said, be ready because he was gonna be a decoy. LeBron James don't want the ball
No,
at all.
No. And I just saw something about that too, because it was like he didn't want to mess up his stats. So he's not going to shoot the miss, and he'll throw it, but he'll get the assist if you make it, but he's not going to keep it. It was the other day I just
He don't
he
want that. He don't want that heat. He don't want that heat. No sir. No sir. He
He
don't
want
want
the
that.
number.
All right. All right,
All right.
look. Let's start.
I'm with you on that one, Antoine. I'm with you on that.
Get a little older. Let's see what he's doing. Bo Jackson or Barry Sanders? Give him to his era.
Barry Sanders, man. Barry Sanders had Bo played both sports, but Barry just had that. Barry did what he did with no line.
Okay.
With no line.
Okay. All right. Let's see what you do with this one. Tim Duncan or Ralph Sampson?
Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental.
Ralph Sampson.
Over Ralph Sampson.
Yeah. Ralph Sampson was nice, but Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental. This Tim Duncan gonna hit that square on that backboard every time. Tim Duncan ain't gonna say 2 words to you, but he gonna let you know under his tone that how nice he is and how he dogging you out. Tim Duncan gonna give you 20-some points, 13 rebounds, 8-9 assists. You won't even know it. Did he play? He done gave you numbers. You don't even know he out there. Cause he ain't flashy, but he is Mr. Fundamental. He giving you buckets.
Okay. Heck no. Okay. Look.
He had him frozen his track.
Okay. Look. Here we go. All right. Let's do one easier. Hamburgers or hot dogs?
Hamburgers.
Okay.
I'm about to say, you better not say it.
I want to say a hot
Yeah,
dog.
look. I set him up. Just see what he's gonna do. I'll see what he's gonna do. He's gonna be like Glizzy.
That big long one. That thing was like this long.
I set him up. I'm just saying what he's gonna do. I was like, yeah, okay.
If you'd asked me that back in 2015, I said, man, a hot dog. I said, yeah, hot dog.
I'm
Nice and
say
burnt.
No, that's a bologna sandwich is what you should have said.
Yeah. 2025 hamburger.
Okay. Whitney Houston or Aretha Franklin?
I would say I have to go with Whitney. Aretha I know Aretha, but Whitney Houston was around my time frame.
Okay, I got you.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Okay, let me
right.
give you one of your top frame. Prince or Michael Jackson?
Ooh-wee. You gonna do
Yeah,
that, ain't
yeah, hit the both. Hit the both. Hit the both. Hit the both.
uh,
it? Yeah,
hit the vote.
that's both. Yeah,
Oh,
you can't
bam. Burn, burn, burn,
you
burn,
can't
burn, burn.
you can't that's you got two totally different styles, but
Yeah.
yeah, both of them are great. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And let me just get last one for good riddance. Excuse me. For good riddance. I had one. Oh my
Get the
goodness.
comedian.
Shaka Khan or Stephanie Mills.
Mm.
Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan.
Over
You
Stephanie
be
Mills.
rocking Shaka
Shaka
Khan.
Khan. Shaka Khan.
Hey,
There's only
look what the
one to
face
do.
wanna do. Shaka Khan. Ain't free for you. I'm with you.
I feel for
Down,
Okay.
you.
down, down. Yep. I heard it all.
Okay. I got you. All right. So yeah, that's it. Because I was like, all right, because you was pretty thorough. I just had to get one out of you. I had to get one out.
I do. I have another question here. So,
Yeah.
beyond performing and all of that, what's the one thing that comedians should know about, like ownership, branding, longevity in the business? You've been doing it for 20 years, so the people just starting, what should they know about that, especially branding?
Just brand whatever catchphrase or I forgot the catchphrase this guy had, and somebody copywrote it before he could kind of brand it himself. Kind of the little phrase he had. But
Mm-hmm.
anything that you have, just go ahead, brand that thing. Just be on top of your game. Make sure your taxes right. Uh,
Mm.
Taxes is
Lord.
right. I
stay.
got you. Show your taxes is
uh,
right.
man, just be you. There's no other you out there. Be authentic. Stay in your lane. If nobody, you got millions and millions of folks in the world. Somebody, is enough folks out there that like your style and what you do and your uniqueness of being you. So stay in your lane. Just keep being yourself.
And then, how
Okay.
did you come up with the look at you? Like, how did you come up with that?
That was just on a hum. I was somebody wanted me to promote a comedy show I was doing, and this is way back. Really, social media was out. I think I posted a video on Facebook, and I said
Mm.
something to the effect of, "If you don't come to this show, blah blah blah, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna look at you. I'm tell you right now, I'm
Mm.
gonna look at you if you don't come to this." I just said it on the hum, and I went back like a couple of days later and just saw my page, and I had more views than I ever saw in my life at that time, and a lot of the comments was like, "Boy, you gonna look at me? You gonna look at me?" I was like, "That's dumb." Uh,
Look
and
at you.
I said in a couple other videos, and before you know, a lot of comedians started calling, "Boy, Twan, you own to something." When if you cool with comedians, the
uh,
way the way it is, if a comedian see you with a good joke or something that can help out your joke or something, they'll give it to you. They back at the comedy club. Hey, when you say such and such, hey, say it this way, or take that word out, put this word in. That's how we do teamwork. And they just start calling, and I start commentating the pictures or videos will look at you in it, and
mm-hmm.
it,
That
it just took
hashtag,
off from
yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Go ahead,
yeah.
I got it.
All right,
All
Vic.
right,
Yeah,
oh.
no, I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm good.
All right, all right. And so, last thing before we get out of here is we want to know what you got coming up. Where can people find you on social media? We want to be able to see what you're doing and all that good stuff.
You know what it is right here, your boy comedian Antoine Scott. The easiest way to find out where you can find me on social media is Google your boy. I'm Googleable. Google your
Googleable.
boy.
Googleable.
Go to your search engine and type in Antoine Scott, ANTOINESCOTT, just like the toilet paper. Find me there. You can find my TikTok. You can find my Instagram, my YouTube channel, my Facebook. You can find all my pages. Just Google my name. Google the name. And guess what? I got my comedy special dropping soon on Tubi. TUBI.
All
You
right,
know how
all
Okay.
Tubi
right.
do. Huh? Comedy special. And it's titled, same thing I said, on Tubi. Make sure you keep watching out for it. It can
Same
drop
thing I say.
any day now. Any day it's dropping. Tubi special. Executive producer Stephanie Riley. You heard what I said.
Give it
Steph
up to Steph
Riley.
Riley.
Come
Woo,
on.
woo, woo.
Steph
Entertainment.
Riley
Woo, woo, woo.
Productions. You better know and believe. So come on, y'all. Follow your boy, Antoine Scott. Go see my Tubi special when it drops. Much love to the crew.
Holy
All right.
moly. I listened to you when you said, boy, you got your own drop. I was just listening. I was like, oh, you doing a drop right now. I was like, shit, no, hold up. Just throw the crossbars in there. Just set a whole drop. I was just looking like, this man is doing a drop right now. He's like, his voice changed up and everything. I said, I see you.
You got to turn it on. I told you about turning it on. You got to turn it on.
I heard it. I was like, Jay, did you think what he just did? Like,
I did. And that's why we love to thank you so much for coming on the show. We do want to give a shout out to Steph Riley. We go way back. Shout out to that, the great things she has going on. You can also visit us at our website. That's KROSSBARZ.com. That's KROSSBARZ. I'm JTanae. That's Big O. You can find us on all the streaming platforms. Thank you again, Antoine Scott. Thank you so much for visiting the show. We love you, man. Look at you, yo. Go check them out, y'all. Peace.